This is the story of 7 sisters. In a village, there lived a beggar and his wife. They had 7 daughters. Due to their poverty, the couple and their daughters survived by begging. One day, the beggar told his wife that he wished to eat kheer, a sweet rice pudding. Hearing this, his wife sighed deeply and said that kheer was not within the reach of the poor like them. The beggar replied that they would beg for milk, rice, and sugar, and then she could make kheer for him. His wife responded, "Dear husband, we won't get enough from begging to feed our 7 daughters as well." The beggar reassured her, saying, "Don't worry. We'll make the kheer when all the girls are asleep. That way, they won't even know, and we can enjoy the kheer to our heart's content." The mother's heart ached for her daughters, but she reluctantly agreed with her husband. The beggar said, "Now go to sleep. Tomorrow, we have to wake up early to beg for the ingredients for kheer." Unbeknownst to them, their youngest daughter had hidden under the bed and heard the entire conversation. Her heart sank at the thought of her parents planning to eat kheer without them. She shared the conversation with her sisters, saying, "We will also eat the kheer." The eldest sister asked, "How will we eat it?" The youngest replied, "We will hide the utensils and ingredients for making the kheer." The next day, when the beggar and his wife brought home the ingredients after begging, the girls secretly hid everything in a concealed spot. The 4th sister quietly observed where everything was hidden. That night, the sisters pretended to sleep, each holding onto one item. A little while later, the beggar woke up and nudged his wife, saying, "Everyone's asleep now. Get up and make kheer for me." The wife quietly tiptoed to the kitchen and started looking for matches to light the stove. After a thorough search, the eldest daughter woke up and came into the kitchen, asking, "What are you looking for, mother?" Startled, the beggar and his wife told her to speak softly and promised her some kheer if she stayed quiet. The eldest daughter replied, "I kept the matches safely. I'll get them for you." After lighting the stove, they couldn't find the pot. Then, the second daughter came into the kitchen and said, "Mother, I kept the pot safely." "What are you making?" The beggar told her to sit quietly, assuring her that they were making kheer and that she would get some too. When it came time to find the ladle, the third daughter came into the kitchen holding it. Seeing the increasing number of daughters in the kitchen, the beggar started feeling irritated. Gradually, the daughters brought out milk, sugar, rice, and plates, and surrounded the kheer. Each daughter received a small portion of kheer. Despite the small quantity, the girls were happy and returned to their beds. The beggar, however, sat fuming with anger. He decided to leave his daughters in the forest forever. Despite his wife's pleas, the beggar was adamant. The next morning, he told the daughters to get ready as they were going to their uncle's wedding. The girls were excited to go. They all got on a bullock cart and set off. On the way, they entered a dense forest. The beggar told the girls that they had forgotten the wedding gifts at home and that he and their mother would go back to fetch them. The youngest daughter, worried, said, "Father, come back soon. We will be scared." The beggar assured her, "Don't worry, my daughter. We will return before sunset." Saying this, the couple left. Evening approached, but there was no sign of their parents. As the sun began to set and the sounds of various animals emerged from the forest, the 4th sister suggested that their father had abandoned them. The youngest began to cry, fearing they would be eaten by wild animals. Suddenly, they saw a light in the distance. The third sister pointed out, "Look, what is that? It seems like someone's house. Let's go and seek shelter. Maybe they will help us." They approached a large, round hut. The door was open, but no one responded to their knocks. The youngest sister gathered her courage and entered the hut, calling out, "Is anyone there?" No one answered. Inside, there was no one. The sisters entered the hut, which was magnificent. Large jars were filled with rice, sugar, and milk. The girls were amazed to see such quantities. Being hungry since morning and with kheer as their favorite dish, they decided to make kheer. They made plenty of kheer, ate to their heart's content, and, exhausted, lay down in a room to sleep. Meanwhile, a tall black bear entered the hut. This hut belonged to the bear. Feeling hungry, the bear went to the kitchen to make his favorite dish, kheer. Smelling the leftover kheer in the pot, the bear detected a human scent and realized someone was in his home. The bear began searching the hut. The girls woke up to the bear's growls and realized they were in a bear's house. Fear gripped them. The youngest sister, being clever, devised a plan. She filled a large cauldron with oil and heated it on high flame. As the bear entered the kitchen and lunged at the youngest sister, she swiftly moved aside, causing the bear to fall into the boiling oil. To their astonishment, the bear turned into gold instead of burning. The bear was not an ordinary bear but a magician. The girls were overjoyed, having become wealthy overnight. They became the princesses of the forest. Dear children, the lesson from this story is that sometimes what seems wrong to us may not be as it appears. Often, there is something very good in store for us behind the scenes, which we come to realize later on.